what's the worst that is gonna happen? If you take a break, if you step away, what is the worst thing that could happen? And I know I think that there's this if it's the hustle culture or whatever that tells us no, I mean, you earn this vacation, but in order for you to really deserve this vacation, you better bring your laptop so that you can check your email. What are the activities that I'm doing every single day that, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there? Can I buy back some time? Can I find other pockets of time throughout the rest of the week to make up so that I'm doing all the things Monday through Thursday and I can afford time on Friday? I love my business and I love doing business and I love trying to figure out how to help my business grow. But if we're not taking time for ourselves and for the things and the people that matter the most in our lives, we're gonna have regrets. On this episode of the podcast, we're gonna talk about taking a break. What's up, my friend? Hey, welcome to another episode of the show. I'm your host, Ryan Coral, and this is the Grow Your Video Business show where we talk about how to grow a video business. Crazy how it's similar to the title. I'm so happy that you're here. Man, I love talking about business. I love talking about sales and marketing. I love branding. I love trying to crack the code of running a business. And that's what I've been doing or attempting to do over the last 20 years in my own video production business. And so if you're new here, this is where I get to spill my guts on the things that have worked really well and all of the 2 things that haven't worked well. Okay, 2 times infinity. Is that a thing? A lot of mistakes here. So I'm grateful to be able to share because I know that I've benefited from other people who have shared their horror stories of things that have gone wrong and decisions that they've made that were not good decisions, were not well-informed decisions. And man, I've learned so much about being a better leader, a better boss. I am so far from perfect. Oh man. But this life and this opportunity is really about learning and growing and becoming better, and ultimately trying to become the best version of yourself. And I don't know if you need to hear this today, but that also applies in a relationship. So if you're a parent, what does it mean to look like the best mom in the world, the best version of you as a mom or a dad, the best version of you as a spouse or a partner? Because we're gonna fail, come up short. Hopefully not more times than not, more times than whatever, than the opposite. But I think my approach to this whole thing has been how do I become better? And to kind of humble myself or be humbled and realize that there are so many people around me that would love to share their experience and that would love to link arms with me literally or figuratively, whether that's through a book or a podcast or a course or a presentation or whatever it might be. So I think my encouragement to you and to me is to be open, to be looking for opportunities to grow and to become the best version of ourselves. Speaking of the best version of ourselves, let's talk about AI really quick. It's not a good segue at all. I have a free resource that is it's my favorite AI tools that I'm using in my business to buy back time and to do things that I just couldn't otherwise do. AI has become a creative partner. Now I don't have to bug people throughout the day with questions is this a good idea? I can bounce ideas back and forth with AI until I get to a spot where I'm hey, this is actually pretty good. The funniest thing about AI, if you ever use the chat feature on ChatGPT where you talk to it and it talks back to you audibly, she always is saying that's a great idea. And I'm words of affirmation. And I know it's a robot, but there is a part of me that's yeah. And I know that it might not be a great idea, but it is so nice to just have somebody consistently say, yeah, that's a good way of thinking about that. Or that's a really good idea. she always takes the idea and improves on it. So it's kind of like, when you respond to somebody, instead of saying but, you should say yes and, blah, 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 if you have another idea, conflicting, whatever. Okay, I digress. You can get access to this resource if you go to studiosherpas.com/AI. It is a Google document. I'm trying to upload it with the most recent things that I'm using so that you can benefit from all the things. I've had people from the community submit apps and things and tools that they're using, and you can get access to all that stuff if you go to studiosherpas.com/AI. Now, let's get into today's episode. This is me talking about resting and taking a break and encouraging you that everything is going to be okay. Even if at face value, it might not seem like it's okay. And everything might be spinning out of control right now. My goodness, I hope it's not, because that is not a good place to be. That doesn't feel good. And if that is you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I have been there. I think in some parts of my life, I probably am there. I don't want to admit it because then maybe part of my body would agree with that and start making me have to take deeper breaths so I could try to handle it or try to figure out, what do I need to do? Too long don't watch or too long don't listen. I think the summary of today's episode is, what's the worst that is going to happen? If you take a break, if you step away, what is the worst thing that could happen? And really where this phrase or this idea came from for me the most recently is right before spring break earlier this year. I was planning to take my family. We were going to Cancun, and I had just, I think I had, one of my employees left or was leaving or something. And I was in between executive assistants, and then there was something else going on too. So there were kind of like three big things, and I was just like, man, I think I'm gonna have to bring my laptop to work, to vacation, so that I can be available and so that I can work. And if you know me at all, if you go on vacation with me, you know that I do a really good job of shutting down. I'll go away for a week, and my team knows, hey, you only reach out to Ryan if this is an emergency. And if, your pet's heads are not falling off, then just if it can wait until Monday when he's back at the office? If so, then just don't bother him. So literally for years, I've gone on vacation, whether it's 2 days or a week long, and have had people, haven't heard anything from the team. Haven't had to check my emails while I was gone. And I know I think that there's this if it's the hustle culture or whatever that tells us no, I mean, you earn this vacation, but in order for you to really deserve this vacation, you better bring your laptop so that you can check your email. Period. My friend Vince, who's in one of my masterminds, actually Mike Kim's mastermind, Vince Fowler told me after I said, oh yeah, man, he's like, how's it going? I'm like, going on vacation. Cool, are you gonna be able to rest? I'm like, yeah, but I actually think I'm on this vacation, which I normally don't do. I think I gotta bring my laptop and just kind of be ready. And he said, well, what's the worst that's gonna happen if you don't bring it and you don't do work? I was like, I don't know, we don't make payroll, or the bank account bounces, or I'm just trying to think worst case scenario. We get a incredible opportunity and nobody responds to the person because it's my email inbox, and he's like, okay, so I mean, is that the worst that can happen? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so have you ever had your bank account bounce? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're still alive to tell about it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, and you figured it out? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but I don't want my bank account to bounce. He's like, yeah, but you also need rest, and your body, your spirit, all of the things, everything that makes up you needs time to breathe, to rest, relax, to be away, to focus on the people and the relationships and the things, the fruit of your labor. Like, why do you work this hard? What is it for? Oh yeah. So that's my question for you is, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? Some things that I've done in the past, in 2019, I stopped working on Fridays, and it was the best. I just put OOO on my Fridays, which means out of office. If you're not from the corporate background, it took me a while to understand what OOO meant. It's not ooh, it's actually out of office. So I put that on my calendar, and people couldn't book times. You know, they use Calendly to book a call with me, and it's like, Fridays are not an option. My team, don't make meetings with me on Fridays. And I did that for months and months and months until COVID happened. And then COVID happened, and it was kind of like, okay, I've got to pivot, and I've got 2 businesses. What am I going to do? And so then I started working on Fridays again, although Fridays have never looked the same since I took them off. Today was Friday. I was at Costco. I had lunch with a buddy. Actually went to Meijer to pick up some groceries. So I did errands, and here I am. I'm recording a podcast episode, but this is like fun, like to create content. I don't feel pressure. I feel light. I'm like, we're entering the weekend. We've got date night with a couple other couples tonight, and I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm not scrambling. At least I don't feel like I'm scrambling. I just have a different mindset. Fridays are really days where I want to think about the business. And I say think about the business, and if I can create content, like those two are very exciting to me. Those bring a lot of life. But I was encouraged by my friend Graham Cochran to take Fridays off. He started his business taking Fridays off, probably a dozen years ago. And what was the worst that was going to happen? There's this thing called Parkinson's law. And the idea is that whatever space you give something, whatever parameters around, you will fill that space, or you will take up all those parameters. So for instance, if I tell my team, hey, we've got 40 hours of editing for this project, my team will likely take all 40 hours. Or if I say, hey, I need this by Wednesday next week, my team will take all the time. And I'm not calling my team out. I'm just saying in general. Like if I said to my wife, hey, there's this thing, or I said to, my best friend, hey, and you kind of create this deadline. More times than not, like, we as people will just take all of that time in order to do the thing. So Graham said, somebody challenged him, said, like, can you do your work Monday through Thursday? And just, can you figure out how to be more efficient, squeeze it in, whatever you need to do. And so I walked away from that conversation with Graham thinking like, golly, yeah, I probably do waste a lot of time during the week. I probably am scrolling on my phone, or what are the activities that I'm doing every single day that, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Can I buy back some time? Can I find other pockets of time throughout the rest of the week to make up so that I'm doing all the things Monday through Thursday and I can afford time on Friday? I take more vacations than most people that I know, whether it's a camping trip or, we're doing a cool trip like Cancun, or a long weekend to Chicago or whatever. I take a lot of trips. I go to DC with my son when he was a freshman, 8th grade. I do these things, and there's definitely a part of me that's like, man, I could get a lot of work done if I didn't do this trip. But I'm at as a dad, I'm prime time. Like my kids right now, ages 9 to 17. My son turned 17 yesterday. That went by like that. I don't know if you have a little kid right now, everybody says it, but literally for me, I'm like, he's gonna be a senior. Like today, the seniors walked at their high school. And so I think that means, he's still got a few more days of being a junior, but he's gonna be a senior like any day now. And then he's gonna not live at our house. So for me, like this is the time where I want to invest as much time as I can. And most business owners that I knew early on in my career, they sacrificed everything for the work. I've got friends who got divorced, who became alcoholics, that turned to drugs, that filled their lives with so many other things because work consumed them, and it compromised the most important relationships in their life, or it consumed them so much that during the prime time of their kids' lives, or the most important people in their lives, and then it was too late. It's like, oh shoot, they're gone. Now what? Why did I work so hard or spend all that time and not invest in relationship and not take care of myself? I'm a little passionate about this, and I've tried really hard. I think part of this stems from, I think about my dad. My dad passed away 21 years ago. And, growing up, he was a blue collar, worked at Chrysler. The guy worked hard, and he worked midnights, and he worked overtime whenever he could get it. And I just didn't see him a lot growing up. And so I think for me, I have a different perspective where I wanted the complete opposite for my family and for my kids. I wanted to be not just physically present, not me like sitting on my laptop doing emails or editing a video while my kids are around me playing and trying to get my attention. And have I been perfect in like being fully present for them? No, 100% absolutely not. But have I tried to be intentional? 100%. And I have just a strong desire and hope for you wherever you're at. If you've got a young family or a mature family, man, this is the greatest treasure that we have. I love my business, and I love doing business, and I love trying to figure out how to help my business grow. But if we're not taking time for ourselves and for the things and the people that matter the most in our lives, we're gonna have regrets. And I don't want you to have regrets. I don't want to have regrets. And so what is the worst that's gonna happen? What's the worst that's gonna happen if you shut your computer down at 4 p.m. and then you spend the rest of your evening with your family? What is the worst that's gonna happen? Let me tell you a secret. Your emails are always gonna be, there's always gonna be another email. Inbox zero, that's dumb. Cool if you can do it, but guess what? Like if you didn't check your email for the next hour, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get more emails. You shouldn't be tied to your email list. I hate saying that you should do something, but in this case, you shouldn't be tied to your email inbox. You should only have to check your email a couple times a day. And then be done with it, and then move on to all the other activities in your business that are gonna help it grow. There's always gonna be another task. There's always gonna be another way that you should be marketing. There's always gonna be somebody new you should be reaching out to. There's always gonna be a social media platform that you should be learning, trying to hack, trying to figure out how to go viral. All of that stuff is always going to be there, you guys. Like 20 plus years in running my own business, nothing has changed. It's the same thing every single day. It's like Groundhog's Day. Every single day, there's more emails, there's more proposals to write, there's more invoices to send, there's more campaigns to create, there's more updates that need to happen to your website, there's more rebranding that needs to happen. It's just like, it's the same thing. So what's the worst that would happen if you say, I am just gonna work 4 days a week, or I'm gonna work a little bit less. I'm gonna start a little bit later and a little bit sooner. I'm gonna spend more time reflecting, thinking, journaling in the morning, taking time for myself before I get into social media and before I get into my inbox. I'm gonna show up to work with a plan of here's how I'm gonna tackle the day, and this is how I'm gonna spend my time, and this is the one thing that I'm gonna accomplish today, versus I used to wake up and open up my email and just start looking like, okay, you gotta do that, you gotta do this thing, gotta do that thing. But my email list became my to-do list, and that is very unhealthy. You should have goals in your business, things that you want to achieve this week, this year, the next 3 years, and you're not gonna achieve it if you're letting your email inbox dictate your schedule. Because like I said, emails are always gonna be there. It's the same thing. So how can you become more efficient when you do check your email? Don't check it as many times throughout the day. Check it less. When you go in there, have a plan. If you're gonna do social media during your workday, have a plan. Go in, I'm only spending 10 minutes. My goal is to create one post, or my goal is to comment on 5 things, and then I'm out. And then don't go back to it. I know, I feel like I'm being real bossy right now. ugh. But you know what I'm doing? I'm talking to myself because these are things that have frustrated me about me. And I don't want them for you. I'm sorry. Am I alone in all this? I don't think so. I mean, I've had enough conversations with other business owners over the last 20 years to know that I'm not alone and you're not alone. And this is hard. It's hard, but you need rest. You need to take a break. And I want to encourage you that you can do it. And that the worst thing that's going to happen, it's number one, it's probably not going to happen. The worst thing probably isn't going to happen. But even if it does, you're smart, you're creative, you're an entrepreneur, you'll figure a way out of it. You'll figure a way around it, through it, whatever. You can do it. You're smart. You've made it this far. You can figure that stuff out. I think that's all I got today. I wanted to hopefully serve as an encouragement and a reminder of what's the most important thing. And I'm so grateful, Vince, if somehow you stumble across this episode, I'm grateful for that little nugget that you gave me that I think you just rolled off your tongue. You weren't even, you had no intention of making me stop in my tracks. I don't think you did. I think that's just who you are. I think my last piece of advice here is to surround yourself with people that have your best interest in mind. And so for people like Vince, for people like Graham, Mike Kim, Jason J, I mean, my wife, so many people that cheer me on and want the best for me. And I couldn't be more thankful to be intentional about surrounding myself with amazing people. And I hope inside of this community that I've tried creating, I hope you can find that. And maybe you're thinking, you know what, I still don't have that. You should learn more about the Mastermind that I run. And actually, I'm getting ready to launch a second one. So I'm gonna have 2 masterminds running simultaneously that are specifically for video business owners. If you go to studiosherpas.com/mastermind, I just added, I think, 3 more videos to that page of testimonials, stories of people that are in the mastermind whose lives and businesses are being impacted because we're in a small group. People are sharing their hearts. People are sharing the biggest things in their business that they want to learn and grow and improve on. And that is an amazing, amazing place for me. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars over the years on coaching and masterminds. And the reason why I'm launching a second mastermind is because I'm like, this is the best. We got back from our retreat in April, and to hear everyone, everyone's experience, I was like, golly, I need to do more of this because people's lives are changing, and that's what I want my life to be about. So if you don't have a tribe like that, if you don't have people that are holding you accountable and that are asking you hard questions, and you're not super pumped about where things are at, or you just want to kind of go to that next level in your business, then check out the Mastermind. I didn't mean for this. I've got a couple of notes on my screen here, but I didn't mean to talk about the Mastermind. And that's something that we talked about on our retreat. Is like, everybody was like, dude, you don't even pitch the Mastermind. Like, you talk about it occasionally, but you got to pitch that thing hardcore. And I'm like, I know, but I just want people to come because it's so great. And they're like, yeah, but they need to know that it's so great, so you need to tell them. I'm like, I know. And then they're like, that's where they said they were going to make more videos so that they could tell people. And I said, okay, that's cool. All right, I'm rambling. Mastermind stuff is if you go to studiosherpas.com/mastermind, and you can learn more about the Mastermind. And I'll say this too, there's not like a threshold, like there is a minimum threshold. You need to be hitting $100,000 a year in revenue in your business to apply. You can apply if you're not there, but you're probably not gonna be able to afford it. And it's not that expensive. go check out the website. And then when you hit the apply button right now, it's only $500 a month. So, and rarely do I pitch things on this show, but I just feel like we're here. So it's $500 a month, and certainly the reason why people are giving their testimonials on that page is because they're receiving much more than they're investing financially. So the bar isn't too high. I know a lot of people that are in the mastermind were thinking like, oh, I almost didn't apply because I just thought it was going to be, way bigger businesses, people that were way more successful. I didn't think that we should have applied, but they did apply, and they realized like, oh no, it's like there's a lot of people like me here. So anyway, that's my encouragement. If you don't have that, and that's something that resonates with you, then go check out the Studio Sherpas Mastermind, studiosherpas.com/mastermind. I'll leave a link in the description below. Let me know, takeaways from this episode. Does this resonate? Am I being too harsh? I don't mean to be. I'm passionate, obviously. I hope this stirs up something in you. And, I just have one question. What's the worst thing that's gonna happen if you leave work a little bit early? If you take Fridays off? This is if you work for yourself. If you work for somebody else, the worst thing that's gonna happen, you're probably gonna get fired. But if you work for yourself, what's the worst that's gonna happen? What's the worst that's gonna happen? You go on a vacation for a week and you don't check your email. My last piece of advice, consider getting somebody to help you with your email. If that's the one thing where you're like, yeah, I feel tied to that, get somebody to check your email and check in with you once a day to say, Ryan, hey, there's these 5 emails. The question's this. Can I respond to this? What would you say to this? Okay, question number 2, or email number 2 is this. Do you want to respond to that? Can I respond to that? This is what I'd say. You good with that? If you have that, man, there's freedom in that. And that's got plenty of episodes and upcoming episodes where we can talk more about getting assistance and getting help. But I'll leave you here for now. But here's to an incredible, amazing rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of the year. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.